So we'll be starting with the fresh topic now. AS17 segment reporting. So sir, please let us first break up the name in two parts. Segment reporting. Reporting means disclosing. Reporting means disclosing relevant information. So technically AS17 is a purely disclosure related standard which focuses on the relevant information to be disclosed with respect to segments of an enterprise. So for you, it is most important in this chapter to understand what are segments. Once you understand what are segments, then the topic is very simple. Right? So let us understand what do you actually mean by the word segments. Now, sir, in simple terms, I'll talk. Let us take an enterprise. That enterprise deals in various types of goods and services. Various types of goods and services. And the various goods and services have a separate risk and reward as compared to each other. Means they have different types of customers, or the nature of the products are different from one another. The profitability of each and every product is different. On some product, you have a very high profit margin. On some product, you have a very low profit margin. On some products, you have some strict government regulations, alcohol, strict government regulations. Don't sell it at this place, sell it at this place. You have to be very much careful with the production, safety measures, blah, blah, blah. So when you have such type of products in or services in your enterprises which are different from one another, you can say that you are keen to know that what type of product line is performing or not performing for your enterprise. So you will be making your enterprise, or I would say you will be dividing your enterprise into various segments on the basis of these products and services. Let us take an example of Apple. Sir, Apple sells so many products. MacBooks, Mac desktop computers, iPhones, iPads, right? Apple watches and accessories, that AirPod, earpod, what you call, right? Mouse, keyboard, all at very expensive rates. I don't know what they use in that, right? So there are so many products that Apple deal into. And can I say the risk and reward of each and every product is different from one another? Yes or no? Because the nature of products are different. iPhone and iPad are not same, sir. They are different. Mobile, iPhone, you can carry it in your pocket, but iPad doesn't fit in the pocket. Yes or no? The customer base for iPhone and customer base for iPad is different. iPad is very famous among the college students for taking down notes and all, or for used in businesses, but iPhone everybody buys, right? MacBooks, generally the customer base for MacBook is different and customer base for Windows laptop is different. Some people buy MacBooks only for show off, that yes, I have Apple. But some people genuinely require MacBooks for audio and video editing, because for editing purpose, MacBooks are the best. No comparison to MacBooks. So can I say, within Apple, there are different products and services. So Apple can divide its enterprise into various segments based on the products and services, because even Apple wants to know how iPhone segment is performing, how iPad segment is performing, how MacBook segment is performing, because they can make a decision whether to continue with such segments or to discontinue with such segments. So this is a very common point of distributing or dividing your enterprise into different products and services in the form of business segments. So when you divide your enterprise for reporting purpose on the basis of different products and services, such segments are called as business segments. Such segments are called as business segments. So Apple will have MacBook as one segment, which is a business segment because the segment is made on the basis of product and service. iPhone has one segment, so iPhone segment is also business segment. Apple Watch, one segment, business segment, because it is on the basis of product and services. So when you divide your enterprise on the basis of different products and services, now these products and services have a different risk and reward as compared to the other product and services in which the enterprise deals. Now, can I say iPhone and iPad will have different risk and reward? Why different risk and reward? Because iPhone sales and iPad sales are different. Technically, iPhones are sold more, iPads are sold less. The profit margin on an iPhone is greater than the profit margin on an iPad. Yes or no? The types of customers are different for both of them. So technically, both the products have a different risk and reward. Right? So they are considered as what? Two business segments made on the basis of product and services. So an enterprise will report differently or report separately the assets and liabilities, incomes and expenses of each segments, so that it will come to know. Because for iPhone, if it is a separate product line for the company, then they will have a separate manufacturing plant for it. They will have separate sales for it, separate sales and marketing team for it. Have you ever seen in the iPhone ad, they all also doing the ad of iPad? No, sir. Sir, for iPad, Apple has never done any advertisement. Have you ever noticed? For iPads or MacBooks, we have never seen any advertisement in India. Because, sir, technically, iPads and MacBooks don't have a good market in India. But iPhones have. That is why they do a lot of marketing campaign for iPhones. So technically, the sales of iPhones is much greater than the iPads and MacBooks. So they have a different risk and rewards. That is point number one. Point number two. Does Apple only sell products in the US or across the globe? Across the globe. But can I say it has maximum customer base in the US? Yes or no? You know, Apple's all the manufacturings are done in China, and now some are done in India also, in the Hyderabad factory. Right? So please understand. If Apple is doing business in various countries of the world, can I say doing business in every country of the world, doing business in every country of the world has a different risk and reward now? Because there is always geographical risk and reward. So when your enterprise is divided in the form of geographical locations, they are called as geographical segments. So Apple does business in entire US. So entire US will be considered as one geographical segment. Apple does business in India. It has got customers in India. India as a whole country can be considered as one geographical location. So, sir, technically, various geographical locations are considered as your geographical segments. So Apple will have both business segments, that is on the basis of products and services, and geographical segments on the basis of various locations in which they do the business. And sir, trust me, the risk and reward of doing business in US is different from the risk and reward of doing business in India. Because sir, in US, they don't have to pay huge import duties because iPhones are not luxury in the US, but iPhones are luxury in India. So Apple has to pay lots and lots of import duties when phones are imported from China. And that is why an iPhone which cost 1.3 lakh in India, the same iPhone is available in the US for 95,000. Right? Customers in the US are wealthy. Rich people, US are richer than us. They are 70 times richer than us because of a simple logic. $1 is equal to 70 rupees. So technically they are 70 times richer than us, because if he is having $100 in pocket, then how much we should have in our pocket? We should have 7,000 rupees in our pocket. But we have only 100 rupees in our pocket, or maximum 500 rupees. So technically they are rich people. And obviously that is a very rich country. And everybody over there affords an iPhone. But in India, is iPhone affordable to all? No, sir. So technically, the customer base is different in India as compared to the US. So Apple can say that yes, India is a separate geographical segment and US is a separate geographical segment. So, sir, please understand this one point. Geographical segments can be made on the basis of customers or on the basis of location of your assets. Location of your asset means your factory. Now, sir, Apple has two manufacturing locations, China and India. China and India. And sir, manufacturing in China has a different risk and reward. Manufacturing in India has a different risk and reward. So Apple can also say that I have two manufacturing locations. I have two factories, one factory in China and one factory in India. So I can say that I can also have geographical locations on the basis of my manufacturing units. So geographical locations can be either on the location of the customer or on the location of our assets. And when I say on the location of our asset means our factories or our offices. I hope you are understanding my point. So firstly, an enterprise will divide itself in the form of business and geographical segments, right? And then report the informations with respect to these segments so that it can understand whether my segments are performing properly or not. Because if they are not performing properly, sir, it is not good to do business in that particular segment. Wind up the segment. Sir, I'll give you an example of winding up of segment. Sir, please understand this. Everybody is aware about General Motors, Chevrolet cars, Chevrolet Beat, Chevrolet Cruze. Yes, Chevrolet, General Motors had come in India in the form of General Motors India Private Limited way back in the year 1998. They started they had two factories in India, one in Gujarat and one in Maharashtra. Two factories of manufacturing cars in India, correct? And they started selling their cars from 1998, and finally in 2017 they ended up their business. They completely shut down all the sales activity, only service is still available. And the reason for shutting down was only 1% market share. Even after doing 20 years of business in the automotive sector, they had only 1% market share. Means only 1% out of 100 used to buy a Chevrolet car. And on the other hand, Maruti has almost 48% market share. Means out of 100, 48 people buy Maruti. And after Maruti, the second largest market share is with, I think, Tata. And Tata is only 14% market share. And after that, it is Hyundai with 12%. And all these Volkswagen and all these have only 1%, 2%. Now, Maharashtra government is not allowing to close down the factory. Yes, actually, they were doing the exporting activities. They were exporting Beat, Chevrolet Beat car in the European market, but they have stopped that also now. And now they are actually planning to sell their factory to MG. Already the Gujarat factory was sold to MG. So MG Hector and MG, all the MG cars are now manufactured in Gujarat. But now the Maharashtra plant also, they are trying to sell off to MG only. Now, point of agenda is General Motors is mainly situated in the US. It's a US based company. So they decided to work in India. So India became their geographical segment. Right? And in India, they started business. But since India was not performing properly, they closed down the Indian operations completely. Right? So let us try and understand the meaning of the standard, what it says. An enterprise, just a minute, I'll connect the pencil, 1 minute. Yeah. An enterprise deals in multiple products or services and operates in different geographical areas, which exposes to significantly different risk and rewards or returns. Information about multiple products or services and operations in different geographical areas is called as segment information. And when you disclose this segment information, it becomes segment reporting. So disclosure of such segment information is called as segment reporting. So technically what you report, sir, four things: segment asset, segment liabilities, segment incomes, segment expenses. So with respect to these segments, we have to report these four things. So what are the total assets of the segment? What are the total liabilities of the segment? What are the total revenues? What are the total expenses? So technically what you get is the entire Kundli as in the entire history and geography of that segment. So it is very easy for you to decide whether to continue with the segment or not. Next, segment reporting helps the users of financial statements to better understand the performance of the enterprise. Yes, definitely. Because when I go through the segmental information, as a user, even I can understand what part of the enterprise is performing good. And I'll tell you one thing, sir, even if one product or services get clicked, your enterprise can reach to heights. Best example is Toyota. Only one car is successful, Toyota Innova. And because of that one car, Toyota is still in the market from last 15 to 18 years. And actually for Chevrolet also, only one car was there, Chevrolet Tavera. Tavera was the only one product, and after that Tavera was replaced by Chevrolet Enjoy. So these were the only two products which actually kept Chevrolet alive. But then having only 1% market share is very difficult because they cannot even give proper revenues to their dealers or service providers. So they had to wind up. To better assess the risk and returns of the enterprise means when we are dealing in different products and services and in different geographical areas, we come to know what are the risk and returns of the various segments and the overall risk and returns of the enterprise. To make more informed judgment about the enterprise as a whole. Means we can make financial judgments of the enterprise with the help of segment reporting. Right? Now, applicability. Sir, please understand, segment reporting is applicable only and only to large companies. That is level 1 corporate enterprises. Apart from them, it is not applicable to anybody. Only level 1 corporate enterprises, large companies. I'll read the point, you'll understand why I'm saying large companies. Segment report is made as per Accounting Standard 17, which is mandatory and is effective for accounting periods starting on or after 1st of April 2003. The accounting standard is mandatory for listed companies or companies intending to be listed, that is in the process of listing, or whose turnover exceeds 50 crores. Sir, all these conditions are level 1 conditions. So this is applicable only and only to level 1 corporate enterprise because listed companies, so only corporates will come. Level 1 partnership firms or level 1 proprietors will not come over here. Please understand that. Only level 1 companies. Right? Now, please understand further. Sir, as discussed, there are two types of segments: business segments or geographical segments. Correct? Business segments we make on the basis of different products and services with different risk and rewards. And geographical segment is made on the basis of the geographical location of either your customers or the location of your assets. Now, when I say either your customer means customer base, and location of asset means your factory or your office. Correct? Let us take example of Maruti. Maruti Udyog Limited. Maruti has a factory in Haryana. Hisar. And Maruti also has a factory in Sakand, that is Pune. Right? Two factories Maruti have. So these two factories are called as location of assets. And technically, Maruti can consider them as two different geographical segments. And these are the two geographical segments on the basis of location of the assets. Correct? Point number one. Point number two. Sir, Maruti Suzuki sells car across the country, right? Plus, they also sell cars to the neighboring Asian countries, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bhutan, Nepal, right? Because it's a middle class person's car, so everybody would like to buy Maruti, right? So technically, if Maruti is selling cars in Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka can also be considered as a geographical segment on the basis of location of customer. If Maruti is selling cars in Pakistan, so Pakistan will also be considered as a geographical location, but on the basis of what? Location of the customer. Correct? And sir, doing or selling cars in Pakistan and selling cars in Sri Lanka both have different risk and reward. And the biggest risk in Pakistan is what? When you transport, any bomb can explode on your car, on your transport truck or your railway system. But in Sri Lanka, that is not the problem. Sir. And sir, government of Sri Lanka is friendly with us. And government of Pakistan shows that we are friendly with you. But they are not. And it is all because of our Prime Minister that those people are sitting silent. Or else some more activities would have been done in the Kashmir area, for sure. Right? So that's a subjective point. Let us not go into political aspects now. So this is how you make, on the basis of location of the assets, you can make geographical segments, or you can also make geographical segments on the basis of location of customer. Correct? Because if the customer location is different, and obviously the location to location there is different risk and rewards, technically you can consider it as a geographical segment. Let us take one more example. This chapter is full of examples, because if you go into technical definitions, many things will go bouncer. So you have to go with examples only. Everybody in South is aware about Ramraj. It's a very famous brand, and I think every one of us are having some or the other products of Ramraj at our home. It's very famous, but it is famous only in South, sir. Karnataka, it is famous. In Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, it is famous. It is famous in Tamil Nadu, famous in Kerala also. Right? Only the South Indian people use Ramraj product because the products are designed as per the South Indian culture only. Silk shirts, silk vastram, silk dhoti, right? And the shirts are also basically of South type, means linen cloth. Linen is majorly used in the South. In North, people don't use linen that much. Now, you will not believe, Mumbai being one of the biggest metro cities in the country, you have only 2 or 3 outlets of Ramraj. Can you imagine? Now, I am currently situated in Nizamabad, which is a tier 3 city. It's a small city, and we have 2 outlets of Ramraj in our city. And big outlets, almost 2,000 square feet, 2 outlets are there. In Hyderabad, there are N number of outlets. Chennai also N number of outlets. But sir, in Mumbai, Maharashtra, there are only 3 outlets. Such a big Mumbai city, only 3 outlets. Now just imagine, if Ramraj is starting to do business in Mumbai, Ramraj will consider Mumbai as a separate geographical location, because the risk and reward of selling the Ramraj goods in Mumbai is different from the risk and reward of selling goods of Ramraj in Chennai or Hyderabad or Bangalore. Because the customers are more friendly in the South, but in Mumbai, the people don't like Ramraj that much. And if Ramraj goes and opens a store in Delhi or Gurgaon area, the risk and reward will be completely different, because Delhi people don't even use any South Indian type of dresses. Only those people, the software people, those who have settled in Gurgaon or Delhi, the South Indian people, those who have done software engineering and they are now located in Delhi or something, they will only go and buy at Ramraj. Yes or no? So technically, these businesses have a different risk and reward for different locations. So they can make Delhi as one geographical location and geographical segment, Mumbai as one geographical segment, right? Because the sales in Delhi and sales in Mumbai will be substantially low as compared to the sales done in Bangalore, Chennai, or Hyderabad, or any other southern city, Coimbatore, whatever you take. Right? So this is how segments are made. Amul. Amul sells the goods across the country, right? But sir, Amul butter or Amul paneer in the last 10 years has only picked up in the south. Because North Indian people have started doing business in south. South Indian people didn't know what was paneer. And South Indian people didn't know what was Amul butter. Maximum people didn't know. But now, since all the North Indian people have started their hotels in South, right? Chennai, so many North Indian restaurants are there where you get paneer butter masala, paneer this, paneer that. So now people are aware, paneer is there. Now South Indian people have started cooking paneer at home. Or generally we cook what? Sambar, rasam, right? That is what famous is at our place. We are feeling hungry. Okay, so no, but I am not feeling hungry now. Vegetarian dishes don't turn me on for food. Non-vegetarian dishes will turn me on for food for sure. I am not that great fan of vegetarian food. Typical South Indian guy, typical Telangana person. Telangana people love non-veg food a lot. 98% of the people from Telangana are non-vegetarian. Only 2% people, Brahmins and Kshatriyas, they don't eat non-veg. But maximum Brahmins have also now started to eat non-veg because they go and settle in Hyderabad, and in Hyderabad everything is fine. And if you come to Hyderabad and don't have a biryani, then your trip to Hyderabad is actually wasted. So coming back to the topic, earlier Amul did not have a great sales in southern India. Amul had major sales only up to Maharashtra. North, Amul has superb sales. Paneer, every North Indian, every Punjabi guy, oh paneer chahiye mainu, paneer, I want paneer. Because their diet is only paneer. Everything is paneer. The roti also that they make at home, it will be paneer paratha. Everything paneer, 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 paneer. So Amul has a huge sales in the north. But as comparatively, yes, paneer and lassi. But in south, Amul has a very less sales. So if Amul has divided it into various region wise, means North India, Eastern India, Western India, Southern India, they can have 4 different geographical segments. Because for all the 4 areas, the risk and reward of Amul product is different. Right? And in southern industries, we have the local companies also. Now for Bangalore, we have Nandini Dairy. Nandini Dairy products are very famous in Bangalore. It's a local brand. And now they are selling in Telangana also. Now I am getting Nandini ghee, Nandini butter in local stores at Nizamabad also. Amul I don't get, but I get Nandini. Right? So these people are expanding. So Amul, if I don't know whether Amul have divided that or not, but if Amul has divided India into these regions, they can have these regions as different segments. I hope you are getting the point. So this is how segments are divided. Now please understand the last point before winding up. Please understand. When I talk about business segments, it is not that every product is taken as a different segment. The product should differ with one another, then only it will be considered as different segments. And even locations also. Now, entire South, now we are taking entire South together, right? Entire South India for JK Shah classes can become one geographical segment because common type of customers, because we have to take lecture only in English. Yes or no? Common type of people, majority South Indian culture is same. So common type of customers we have in the South. So JK Shah classes will not make Chennai as a different segment, Hyderabad as a different segment. JK Shah classes will definitely do segment reporting because JK Shah classes is level 1 enterprise, level 1 corporate company. So they can consider entire South as one segment. Mumbai as one geographical segment because maximum business of JK Shah comes from Mumbai. Second is Ahmedabad. Major revenue producing cities, Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Mumbai has almost 25 branches. right? Now we started in North India. Delhi is also there. So Delhi, Jaipur, Raipur, these are all of similar type nature. Indore, similar type nature, similar type of customers. Maximum Hindi language we have to use. If we use more English, they don't accept the professor because they want Hindi more. So when I take a lecture in Delhi or I take a lecture in Raipur or Indore, maximum Hindi, 80% Hindi, 20% English, and that too only when I read it is English. All explanation in Hindi only, because English they don't prefer that much, because North Indians are not that fluent in English, but South Indians are super at English. We speak English very well. North Indian people not that fluent with English, because the local language used over there is Hindi only. But in South India, you either use your local. Now, Chennai people will use either Tamil. If not Tamil, then it is only English. Right? But it's not that case in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, they will speak maximum Hindi only. And that is different type of Hindi. Deccan language, we call it as. Kya kar raha, kidhar ko ja raha, idhar bait, udhar bait. That is type of Hindi that these people use. And the same type of Hindi they use in Hubli also. Yes, it is Hindi and Urdu mix. That is called as Deccan language. Deccan Bhasha. Right? So, you have to understand this point. When I say that the products or services are similar to each other, then you can group certain products and make one segment for the entire group. Means, for example, Apple makes iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 10R. End of the day, all three are iPhones only. So no need to make different segments for iPhone 10R, iPhone 11, iPhone 12. All are iPhones, group them together and make one segment. Correct? But sir, Samsung is different. Samsung makes M series, Samsung makes A series, Samsung makes S series, Note series, Fold series, Z series. Now, customers for all these series are different. But for Apple, all the customers are of upper middle class or higher class. Because middle class normal person don't buy iPhones because it is out of their pocket reach. But Samsung is available for all types of customers. It is for 7,000 also, and it is for 1,06,000 also. You get a Samsung for 7,000 also, and you get it for 1,05,000. So technically, Samsung mobile phones are same type of products, but sir, customer for different mobile phones are different. So what Samsung can do? Sir, three phones, S series, Note series, Z series, Fold series, expensive phones. They can make one segment, premium mobile segment. Correct? A series, middle segment, middle class people, middle segment mobile. And M series, 7,000, 10,000, 12,000, lower segment. So in mobile also they can make three product, budget segment. Right? Are you getting the point? So when you talk about the products and services, if the products and services are similar, they can group it together and made as one segment. So I am now reading the definition of business segment, which is the last part of the day now. What it says, a business segment is a distinguishable component. Distinguishable component means a different part of an enterprise. When I say different part of an enterprise means it will have its own assets, it will have its own liabilities, it will have its own revenues, and it will have its own expenses. Because when all these items of various segments are added together, it becomes an enterprise as a whole. Right? So business segment is a distinguishable component of an enterprise or a group of related products or services. I'll just read the 1 minute. I'll just connect my pencil. This pencil is giving me a lot of problem today. Yeah, what it says, I'm just reading the definition of a business segment. A business segment is a distinguishable component of an enterprise which is engaged in providing an individual product or service or a group of related products or services, and that is subject to risk and returns which are different from those of other segments, means other business segments. So here you can have a single product considered as one segment, or you can make group of products and make them as one segment. So sir, now you can see some 5 factors written over there, A, B, C, D, E. These 5 factors help you to understand whether the products should be considered separately or they can be grouped together. So if these factors are common with different products, then sir, don't take them as different segment, rather consider them together as one segment only. So what are the factors? And all the factors I'm going to explain you with an example of Maruti cars. Right? Maruti manufactures so many cars: Alto, Espresso, Wagoner, Baleno, Ignis, right? S-Cross, so many cars, Brezza. Yes or no? Now, can all these cars put under one segment, or we have to put them into different segments? That is what we are going to decide over here, right? Because end of the day, sir, all are cars. And sir, Maruti is technically the choice of middle class people. The higher class people don't even touch Maruti because they consider Maruti to be substandard. And technically, Maruti is substandard. Even I own a Maruti car. If you punch hard to the door of a Maruti, the door will go inside. But I also have a Chevrolet car, rock solid. Once one Maruti Swift had touched my Chevrolet Enjoy from back, the entire bumper of the Swift car came out. And for my car, only one scratch had come. And that was also not visible. Chevrolet cars are rock solid. Maruti, sir, no, nothing. Even if I scratch from my nail, color goes. This is the quality of Maruti. But we people, we Indians love Maruti a lot only with 2 reasons. First, mileage. Second, low maintenance cost and resale value. These are the 2 reasons why we buy Maruti. And even I bought it for the same reason. Because before Maruti, I had a Ford. And I had bad experience with Ford. So that is why I thought, let us go to Desi only. And I bought Maruti. So what are the factors? Factors which would be considered in determining whether the product or services are related or not. Let us take Maruti example. Point number 1. Nature of products or services. Can I say, sir, nature of all the cars? Nature of product means end of the day they are cars only. So can I say nature of the products are similar? They are all cars. Nature of production process. So technically, the production process to manufacture an Alto or the production process to manufacture a Vitara Brezza is same. In the same way only the manufacturing is done. No change. So technically, as of now, Alto and Brezza can be kept in one segment only. So then the third point, type of or class of customer for products or services. Now, can I say technically for Maruti, the class of customer is same, middle class. Right? Maximum middle class people prefer Maruti. Maximum. Now, Maruti is trying to make a separate segment called as Nexa. And Nexa is called as Maruti's premium segment. And all the premium cars they are put in Nexa. That is the only reason. Because even Maruti knows that upper class people don't touch Maruti. So you can see the Nexa showroom is very much posh as compared to a Maruti Arena. And all S-Cross, Ignis, Ciaz, all these cars which are actually very premium from Maruti end are put under Nexa. Because Maruti knows if I merge it with normal Maruti, the upper class people will not come. So they want to attract the upper class people also. So if I talk about S-Cross and if I talk about Ciaz, these are the 2 cars where the type of customer is different as compared to Brezza and Alto type of customer. Right? So technically the Nexa part can be considered. Now I know it is cars only, but Nexa can be considered as a separate business segment because the class of customer is different for Nexa. I hope you get my point. Then the methods used to distribute the production, means the distribution method or how you provide the service or how you distribute the products. If those are also similar with different products and services, they can be considered as one group only. And nature of regulatory environment. Nature of regulatory environment means government's restrictions. Now, can I say for Maruti, for manufacturing a car, there is only one regulatory environment, that is only BS6 engines. If you don't have a BS6 engine, don't manufacture. That is why Maruti stopped diesel cars. Maruti doesn't have an engine. So technically, all those products of Maruti are similar to nature, and the customer base is also same. So technically, Maruti will have one business segment or maximum two business segments. That is one for normal Maruti cars and one for Nexa. And sir, now Maruti has entered one more segment. What do you know? Commercial vehicles. Maruti Suzuki Carry, small tempo. Small tempo. That is a separate business segment. Why? Nature of product is different. It is not a car. It's a commercial vehicle used for transportation. So nature of the product or service is different. The type of customer for it will be different. Now, you will not buy a tempo for yourself. Na? Yes or no? You will buy a tempo for carrying goods if you are doing a trading or a manufacturing business. Right? So class of customer is different. So technically now Maruti has three segments. Normal cars, that is Maruti Arena, Nexa cars, the premium ones, and the third part, Maruti commercials. In that only one model is there as of now, Maruti Suzuki Carry. So this is how business segments are made, right? Will accounting, no, we are not here to account. We are just to report. We are not doing accounting. We are just reporting. Reporting means we will separately report how much asset Maruti has for Maruti Arena, how much liabilities it has, what is the revenue of Maruti Arena, what is the expense of Maruti Arena. Then Maruti will also report what are the assets of Nexa, what are the liabilities of Nexa, what are the revenues of Nexa, or what are the expenses of Nexa. Then Maruti can decide whether to continue with Nexa or continue only with Arena. Because Arena is middle class choice, Nexa is upper class choice. So they have divided on that basis. Right? So accounting will not be done. We are just here to report. So here we will conclude our session for today, and now we are at par with the morning batch.